I'll just show this screen now. We got a new ban list. I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh since I started playing Pokemon, but I still watch it every night. I mean, I still watch it every night, every once in a while. Like I'll watch a Master Duel stream. I'll watch a couple TCD videos. I'll look at like regional reports and stuff like that to see what's doing well. I still have friends who actively play the game, and I'll never hate Yu-Gi-Oh. I'll think it's a really bad card game for sure, but I'll never outright disown Yu-Gi-Oh. I just can't do it. What up, Jaden? So I kind of want to look at this new Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. It's time. We have a new TCG Yu-Gi-Oh ban list after we recently got a Master Duel list. What was it, like last week or maybe week before last? We got a new Forbidden Unlimited list. It's effective February 2nd, which means that the last regionals will happen this weekend, and after that, there will be every regional after that will be under the new list, which that's pretty good. It's a little scary if you've already started preparing your deck and haven't been worrying about a potential looming ban list, knowing there would be one coming, towards the beginning of the year. The strongest decks in the game, obviously, right now are like things like Yami Mitsurugi. Malice is still really strong. I think Draco Tail might be the best deck in the room. It might be the best deck in the format, the BDIF. I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh plays that. I think it's a Pokemon thing that I've just accidentally picked up. The BDIF best deck in the format. I think that's Draco Tail or Draco Tail branded, whatever you want to call it. That deck is very reasonably resourceful. K9 is also very strong. K9 Christian, K9 with Orcus. There's so many variations of K9. K9 is insanely good. It's ridiculous. But the main thing that was plaguing the format, I'm going to say the top two decks were Yummy Mitsu / Yummy and Draco Tail. Those were the best two decks of the format, uncontested. And there was a couple decks right outside the fringes of like tier 0.5. I think those were like tier 0.5 decks, right? They weren't tier 0 decks, but they were tier 1 point. They were like tier 0.5 decks where like if they had one or two more things going their way, they would be tier 0 decks. They would be like a 2-deck format or like almost a 1-deck format in that sense. But now we can instead look at the ban list and look towards the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Starting with this first page, the Forbidden list is looking juicy. I feel like they did that emergency list getting rid of a lot of the floodgates, and they kind of just missed a few. They absolutely missed Barrier Statue of the Torrent. I don't know why they wouldn't think that card should go, knowing they were getting rid of the other Barrier Statues and other floodgate-styled cards like Dimensional Barrier. We lost Dimensional Barrier, but kept Harpy's Featherstorm, which was easily searchable off of Thrust if you can play something like Castel. Ridiculous card. Extremely powerful. Hard to answer. Lingering Floodgate out of the format. Thank fucking God. Herald of Arclight means that Yummy Mitsurugi is no longer a clean bridge, right? The bridge towards Mitsurugi from Yummy was Herald of the Arclight. The bridge for Mitsurugi into Yummy is haha, just mill it with Vampire Zombie. So that's a way worse bridge. Yummy Mitsurugi will probably see significantly less play, if not no play at all. And this is also a hit to Pure Yummy, because this is one of their better inboard pieces, and now they just don't have access to it, right? This was the way they got to just completely shut down some decks out of the game with that lingering floodgate effect and having an actual native Omni, because the deck doesn't naturally have Omnis in its base toolkit. This will remove an Omni from their toolkit completely and also cut off the bridge to Yummy Mitsurugi, which feels really nice. Malice Q Whitebinder. This deck won't die. Like, I don't know what's up with I don't know if it's just the Gooners, bro, or if Malice is just that deck. Like, you know how people with pronouns are like he, him, she, her, they, them. Malice is just that slash deck. I don't know why it won't die. Like, I thought it was going to be like Timpai where it would just fucking die with a couple hits, but no, it's not going anywhere, and it looks like they want to do a few more hits to it to curb its power level and stop it from being able to make those insanely powerful turn 1 boards that are basically hard for any deck impossible for any deck truly in the format to answer. And that's probably for the better. I don't think this deck should be alive still, at least not in its current capacity. It should definitely be weaker. I think it's really the only of the decks from its format that is still, like, no one's really playing Ryziel, right? Mitsu Ryziel is dead because King of the Fire Limps is gone, and Automatic Ryziel is barely doing anything, especially in comparison to Malice, which is on the fringes of being a really good deck, right? It's a tier 1 deck in comparison to the, 2 tier 0.5 decks. And Barrier Statue of the Torrent is just another Barrier Statue. I think all the Barrier Statues should be gone. Like, it's very obvious Barrier Statues shouldn't exist. Patches of Follow shouldn't exist anymore. Floodgates are like a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! That are very annoying and make it so that decks have to play outs to them constantly in the main, or you just sometimes have non-games. Like, non-games exist just because a floodgate happened and you didn't play enough out / draw the out. Ha 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 ha. And I think that this is a good card to get rid of. I think we need to get rid of more of the floodgates. I think Genesis, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh!, they did a great thing making it so that all the powerful floodgates were basically one of, so you could only play one of a powerful floodgate and nothing else, and your whole deck would be complete ass if you played a floodgate. So I think we should continue to get rid of floodgates. This is a good banned section, a good forbidden section. I'm hoping that in the limited and semi-limited and unlimited, I see some good unlimits, but we'll start with just getting rid of the plagues of the format first. I think that should be priority number one for Konami, is reducing the power level of the format and making way for new decks, of course, because they have to sell product before they bring back old decks that probably, they're not going to make any money off of. They'll probably bring back some fan favorite decks. I don't know. Maybe Zoo will get something. I don't think True Draco can get anything anymore, right? Like maybe Zoo gets something back. Maybe Prank Kids. Hopefully, we get back Malmemu, but we'll see. Let's move on to the next page. Here we go. We have Draco Malulu. Oh my God, K9 Jokul, Vanquish Soul Holy Sue, Yummy Snatchy, Habakiri no Mitsurugi, a case for K9 Ketsu, Draco Tail. Oh my gosh, they fucking slaughtered Draco Tail. Okay. Jokul and Case, this is huge consistency hits. These decks are going to feel significant. They're going to have the same power. The power of K9 is still going to be there, but the consistency is going to be a lot lower, which is probably for the better. Vanquish Soul, Holy Sue. I don't remember what this was at. Was Holy Sue Unlimited and Raisin? So we must be getting something back for Vanquish Soul. There's no way they're limiting Holy Sue, but we're not getting something else back. So I'll look at this hit as like a balance adjustment, right? We're probably getting something back for this deck. I was talking about like maybe Zodiac and Prank Kids, but instead we're getting hey, what up, how you doing, Gail? Instead we're I guess getting back other Vanquish Soul cards. I don't know, like Raisin or Start or something. Malulu to 1 and Ketu Draco to 1, big consistency hits and inevitability, like long game inevitability for Dracotel going down, right? Its power's not going down, but it's resiliency, its mid-range feeling where you can drag games out into the late game. Definitely 100% going down. Habakiri, you only need to resolve the one, but now you can't search missing pieces around it. Now your number one priority is to get Habakiri. You cannot and will not bridge out and get other things if you don't already have Habakiri. You have to get that first, which gives the deck now a real, natural, and reasonable choke point. Thank fucking God. Same thing with Yummy. I think that this is a good hit. It also gives the deck another reasonable, actual, real choke point. You can now, Infinite Impermanence, Veiler, Ghost Mourner. Why the fuck are you playing Ghost Mourner? Snatchy. And stop them from getting the field spell, and they just you put them on it. You put them on. They have to have Yummy Surprise. If they do not have Yummy Surprise or a Monster Reborn style effect, if fucking Freakazoids are actually playing Monster Reborn, or a Called By or Cross Out to negate your hand trap, if they do not have an answer for this choke point, their turn generally will just end. Their turn's going to be significantly weaker. They're going to have multiple extenders to still make a board. This is the good hit for Yummy. It doesn't kill the deck. It does make it a lot weaker, especially when you look at the hit earlier to Herald of Arc. Holy shit, this is really good. And they're reducing the inevitability of these decks and the consistency, but they're not reducing the power level, right? I like that. I think that's really cool. Wow. Only semi-limit is Droll and Lockbird. We really want Charmies resolving. We obviously, Konami said, hey, we just reprinted all these Charmies as commons. Droll's been a common for like years now. It is about time that we start letting all of these Charmies resolve. So Charmies need to resolve. If your deck just dies hard to Charmies and you're playing 3 Ash, 3 Droll, no, you're not. Now you're playing 3 Ash, 2 Droll, and 1 Called By, 1 Cross Out, right? Less answers for those big combo style decks that just hinge on your opponent not being able to resolve their Charmies. And this is also a way to stop decks from getting completely run over by this card, because this is, in a sense, other than the fact that it's a Charmy stopper, it's also a Lingering Floodgate. And you guys, I don't know if you guys have ever heard my takes on Lingering Floodgates. Maybe I'll talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! More frequently. I need to talk about card games more on the YouTube channel. I fucking hate Lingering Floodgates. I think Lingering Floodgates are the worst thing for any card game ever. Something that is a floodgate styled effect or something that cuts off a gameplay mechanic that if you don't have an immediate answer to right there, that mechanic is completely shut off for an entire turn, no matter if it's something that is very obnoxious and that style of gameplay you don't like, or whether it's something that you think is fair and valid in the game, both of those are on the same coin for this one. They're both on the same coin. I don't care if you like the mechanic that's being shut off or if you don't like the mechanic. The mechanic is being shut off. That's super corny. People talk about Dimension Shifter. I think this card should be limited to one like Dimension Shifter. Dimension Shifter only shuts off banished decks. But people say, oh, well, Dimension Shifter's way worse than Drone Lockbird because it helps banishing decks, but then shuts off all grave decks, and like grave decks are cool and all that. I don't care if they're cool. You're shutting off a game mechanic. You're shutting off an actual game mechanic. That's super fucking corny. Drone Lockbird, same way. You're shutting off an actual game mechanic. Suck my dick. This card should probably be a 1. It's a 2. I think that's a justifiable change. I'm happy that we have less of these super powerful, omnipresent, lingering floodgates. They're starting to disappear, and I like that. So let's move on. Unlimited. Okay. I said Razin or Stake Your Soul. Okay. I also said Zoo might be getting something about. Okay. I didn't think about Crystron because they're hindering, they're like slowing down. What is it? They're slowing down Canine, so they gave back Canine inclusion. I didn't think about Crystron as an option. Okay. So I'm trying to revel in all this. Also, rip my Meow Meow Mew. Bro, I'll come back to Yu-Gi-Oh! If you just unban Meow Meow Mew. Put it at 1. It doesn't even need to be a 3. The card will do nothing. Just give me back Meow Meow Mew. Fuck. Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, White Dragon Wyver Burster. Very obviously unbans for the new Boral / Dragon support coming out soon. This is, I think, a reasonable unban because the speed of the game is so high now and the power level of the game is so much higher that even with the new strength of the Boral cards, I don't think that deck is going to just run the format the way Dragon Link did, which is for the better. Thank fucking goodness, right? Dark Greffer, what is this? Is this a Dark Warrior unban? Nobody fucking plays that deck. I don't know what else this card is for. Card probably should have been off the list like 2 years ago and nobody would have thought about it. Vacor Soul Razin, I'm trying to break them down into categories here. Vacor Soul Razin, and Stake Your Soul, very obviously unhits for Canine Crystron because the Canine part of Crystron is being toned down, which I think is a good thing because a lot of the strongest boards in that deck weren't even off of the Vanquished Soul cards. They were off of the Canine cards, and one Jokul got you way too I think it was one Nolroy. One Nolroy got you way too much, and you basically played 6 because you had Nolroy plus a case for K9. Now you only have Nolroy and 1 case for K9, 4 copies instead of 6. I think that's significantly better. Thank fucking God. I think they could have very easily hit Nolroy to 1 too, but maybe that would have been too much for the deck. Holy Sue going to 1 means now you're hinging on Izuna as your turn 0 play instead of Holy Sue as your turn 0 play. But hey, like you still have 4 turn 0 plays in the deck and then like a very powerful engine in between the K9 and Vanquished Soul cards together. That's pretty good. I don't see any reason why this deck can't exist in the current format of Yu-Gi-Oh! Same thing with Canine Crystron. It's going to be strong, but it's not going to be so strong that it's over-centralizing or too powerful for the current metagame. I'm glad they got back inclusion. That's pretty good for them. Change of Heart is like just... Change of Heart and Snatch Steal are just like whatever-ass unbans. Like they're like formalities. Like these cards shouldn't have been banned anyway, basically. Like there's no reason why these should still be banned. They basically fucking do nothing. So, I mean, a lot of times... if you have non-targeting interruptions, they're just better. So having a steal your monster type effect is an auto negate if you have negation boards, but there's not too many. So now it's mostly about having extra bodies on the field that you can work with, or quick effect plays that you can use to tag out or remove the target of something like a Snatch Steal or a Change of Heart. Them coming back is just more going second cards. Going second feels shitty, so it feels better knowing that we have more cards to go second with, especially for something like, I don't know, what even wants to go second? Yummy? Yeah, Yummy Mitsu would go second, but not anymore. L and Sky Striker, and they're both spell cards. I guess like Nothing Burger hits, but for the unhits, really for the unhit that I know people are going to hype up, even though I know this card is going to do fucking jack all. It's not going to do anything, especially by itself. We don't have Broad Bull. We don't have Rat Pier. He's a Dead Dread. The animal mommy, the furry loving community is so happy right now. They got back their mommy Trident. Now they just need back their daddy Broadbull, and they'll be able to play their deck and coom all over the place all over again. I think Zodiac's a cool deck. For as much as I make memes because they're anthropomorphic animals. I don't gross. But like the deck it functions very cool. It's not super powerful. It has a lot of neat interactions and one card combos that existed before one card combos were super prevalent in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think the deck deserves them back. It doesn't have any now with Dryden back, but if they also brought back, 3 Rat Pier or Broad Bull and like a second Rat Pier, man, this deck would still be able to do some things because of how small you can have the engine and fit in tons of hand traps. Maybe Dryden will help a lot with the new Tri-Brigade support, and that's the only thing I can think that this card coming back will do. That's the full ban list. If there's anything I think is missing, just a couple unhits. I think that getting ready for the new Boral support makes sense. Getting ready for the new Tri-Brigade support also makes sense. Unhitting the most recent decks feels kind of bad, knowing that there's older decks on there that you've kind of forgotten about forever. But I guess you can still sell K9 cards. I'll still play Altergeist and Dreammere. I think there's a lot of cards on here on the list that could have very easily been removed and the game wouldn't change at all. Including, I'm going to keep saying it, I'm shouting to the heavens. I'm shouting to the heavens for both of these cards, right? People talk about the Link monsters that are banned. Honestly, I think even the bird could come back. Bring back the bird. It's time. Bring back Prankids Meow Meow Mew. It's time. Bring back Crystron Halky. Okay. I take that back. You can leave Crystron Halky Fibrox. Bring back we can absolutely get back what is the link one for Super Heavy Samurai. We can get back Super Heavy Samurai Scarecrow is its name, and there's one other powerful Link monster that I'm thinking of off the top of my head that I can't remember the name of. Fuck. And that's the problem, right? Is without looking at the ban list, I can name a few cards that don't need to be there that are still there that could very easily have shaken up the underdog format, the less played format. But I guess they don't change the competitive viability of the game, right? And that's what they're trying to look for here. They're bringing back some of the cards that got hit previous because of the sins of Yummy and Yummy and K9. And then they're weakening Yummy, Mitsurugi, and Draco Tail, right? Like those are the 3 decks that they're trying to make weaker, along with the one random Malice hit, because Malice should probably be dead by now. I mean, it's a good ban list. It's a good enough ban list. I'm glad the metagame will be shaken up at the top end. I do think that Konami should start focusing more on deep loading the ban list. That's something I've always said, is that the ban list is too big and there's too many cards in there that don't need to exist anymore. But when you look at what will actually happen to the metagame, I think this is really good for the game. Especially knowing that Phantom Revengers came out and 2 of the 3 decks are relatively cool and they just don't see very much play because they're not powerful enough to play into these decks. Now that those decks have been lowered in strength, by that I mean Yummy Mitsurugi, and Draco Tail, or even Crystron, right? K9 was also very powerful. Now that these decks have been limited in strength by a pretty good margin, I think that maybe Enea Craft, Hecka Hands, and Killer Tune, Cool Tune, my deck of choice if I come back, are going to have more shine. They're going to be able to show more of their chops when it comes to this open, hopefully more open format. We'll see how it develops in the next couple weeks, but that was my one take first impressions of the ban list. I saw the first page. My friend told me the ban list was out. I haven't been playing much. The Yu-Gi-Oh chat, the Yu-Gi-Oh Facebook group I'm in, or Facebook Messenger chat I'm in, was fucking going crazy. I don't want to look. I don't want to know. The thread was super deep and everyone was yapping, but I could not see the ban list. I didn't want to see it. It's a good list. On the offset without thinking of anything other than trying to look at the current format and, my decks that I want back. This is a good ban list. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think of the current Yu-Gi-Oh ban list, how it's going to shake up the meta. If you think that maybe there is more hits they should have done, if there's some hits that are questionable, or if there's any cards you really wanted to see back that did not make the cut. Metal Foes Electromite. Electromite was the other link too I was thinking of. Electromite can come back. What the fuck? Bring back Electromite. Anyways, this has been Beanie Thuggish for the YouTubes, yapping about the new Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. signing out, asking you to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and saying peace.